Kamene Goro, was recently interviewed for a magazine, and she came out making a statement that pushed some people's boundaries. So let me read what she said. It was one of the worst periods of my life. I can talk, I can read. Not that I regret what I said, but the backlash was huge. A lot of corporates dropped me, and even my employer at the time put me on ice block. It was trouble for just sharing an honest fact. She is talking about in reference to when she said the fact of that her body count, or so to speak, how many men she slept with, was 27. Now, this is getting a lot of drama because some people are saying it was inappropriate for her to share. It's inappropriate, the number, because I believe she was only 26 at the time. And a lot of people are saying, no, it's a double standard for women to not be able to share this kind of thing. I personally agree. I think it's a double standard. I'd like to hear your opinions before I say more about it, though. What do y'all think?
Personally, I've always said this. When you're playing, let's say, football, you know the rules of the game.
Yes.
So if you break them, you know the consequences. This is a society we are living in, and I am not encouraging that we push people to adhere to the norms of society. But when you do go past those norms, accept that there's going to be backlash and be okay with that. For example, you shared your body count, which is fine. Girl, you slept with how many people you slept? That's a fact. Whatever.
Can't take it
but
back.
because of the climate we are in, number one, it's 2019. Yes, abroad this might be like whatever, who cares, but this is Kenya, and there are rules, and there are people who are still running Kenya are older people from back in the day. So when you communicate this, the head of a corporate is old, and so they're gonna be like, I don't want that associated with me because of my opinion of what you're doing. So no, I don't think you should keep quiet, but I think you should understand the rules of the game. And so what? Guess what? She's still winning.
Exactly.
She's still winning.
Respect her. Like I personally, I just feel like she's one of those people in Kenyan society who's pushing those boundaries.
She is.
And let me tell you, in every society you need someone like that, because otherwise we'll just be stuck in this stone age forever. You know,
1000%.
if a man can say his body count, actually I was reading somewhere that like when a man says his body count, he multiplies by 3 so he can be respected. So if it's exactly. So if it's 12, he's gonna say 36. And when a woman says she's supposed to divide by 3, so now she should have said 9 people. And bet you even if she said 9, she'd still have.
It would still be an issue because there's
like,
no
oh
way
my
to
God,
win.
you're not a virgin. Oh my God, you mean you.
There's no way to win as a woman. There's no way to win as a woman.
And then when you reduce it, let's say you say it's like 3, it's like, oh,
you're a liar.
You're
No, or you're a prude.
I mean, women are always going to get backlash for this kind
no
of
matter what number.
for all types of things. But I do agree with Lydia in terms of like Kenya is very conservative and like the people running it are. Like for me, I'm not going to go on live television and tell you my body count. Like, no, don't expect me to because I'm not. But because I know I want to work in the corporate world, I want to have advertisements, be on billboards, do all of that. So I'm necessarily not going to mess up my relationship before I've even started to get them. So,
but you could find that maybe even revealing it could give you opportunities that you wouldn't even have thought of.
It depends on your branding, though. It depends on what your branding is going to be.
Exactly,
because I feel like the industry that she's in and sort of the most recent jobs she's had are more sort of party flexible, but I mean, it is going to limit you corporately. I feel like, though, at the end of the day, the idea of a body count and virginity is really like a concept made up by the patriarchy, by men who thought that their things were so important it could change who a woman was. And we just have to acknowledge that, like, your body count, how much, you know, how many intimate partners you've had doesn't actually change who you are as a person. But I think, Lydia, you made a good point before we got on air, which was, like, it doesn't define your identity, and unfortunately, though, what she's choosing is the road less traveled. Like, if she's gonna be the girl who paves the way for this, she might be alone in it.
And that's a sacrifice for a pioneer. Think about all those people. For example, the first women who were on TV. Do you know what they had to go through? All I had to do was audition and be myself and get this job. But there's so many women who had to really tough it out. Akina Karen Mutuko, she used to get it so hard because she was opinionated. Julie Gashuru, the people who did it before me went through so much. So Kamene is going through it right now, but maybe the next generation, when a woman does communicate a body count, it won't change it dramatically, but someone has to hold that torch.
Shout out to the OGs,
and it's not just communicating a body count, like a plus size woman going online, putting up a picture in a bra and underwear.
Big
like,
deal.
Whoa, oh my God, how dare you?
Who are you to be proud?
You know, who are you to be proud? How can you be, you know, like I've gone through that a lot because I post lingerie pictures all the time. I guess they're like, but you're a mom,
but we
but
love
your wife.
it.
I'm like, yeah, but I'm a woman, and like I have a body, so why should it be a big deal, you know, kind of thing. So like whatever it is you post, I feel like people are always gonna have an opinion, but just do you.
Question. So you said you do communicate. You know, you do some things which people might find controversial. Have you ever had any backlash?
Oh my God, so much, so much backlash. I don't know. You see, for me, I don't know if I would know that there were corporates that wanted to work with me and then now didn't work with me. But what I do know is that from standing up for myself and like having my own opinions and being like, this is my body, this is who I am, I've gotten work from that. Like I've worked with companies that I had never dreamed I would ever work with or work for because they like the fact that I just owned who I am. And that's what being a yummy mommy to me is. It's like you just own yourself. Like this is the way I look. Now what am I gonna do? Am I gonna be in turtlenecks and sweatpants all day? No.
What about you guys? Have you ever had an experience where you've communicated your opinion about something and because it was controversial there was backlash?
You, Dana?
Naomi's like, I don't think I want to answer that. Yes, of course. I think that already visually I'm a very sort of liberal person. I'm covered in tattoos. When I say that I'm Jewish, I get a lot of backlash, which to me is always surprising. I get backlash all the time for being Jewish from like people. I remember volunteering, and when you tell someone that for Jews, like Jesus isn't the Messiah, they're like, oh, well, you should just be a Christian then, because we already have a Messiah, you know, cut the corners.
Oh, yeah, the differences.
Yes, and then it's also like the hatefulness of, oh, well, you know, Jews are actually meant to suffer, so you're just going to have a bad life.
Oh, God, exactly.
You know, just like things. Like, it's hard to explain, but I feel like if you experience in your blackness, you can kind of relate, you know?
Exactly.
It's just weird.
I know, it's crazy. Anyway, speaking of experiences, girls, I want to introduce you people to a new segment that we want to start having. It's called Ask the Girls. And basically what we do is that we answer a question that one of you has asked us about something that you're going through in your relationship or in your marriage or in your life. And it's something that we can all relate to because we're all women, we're all young people, like we're all having the same struggles, you know? So let's go on to the first Ask the Girls.